Stop. Listen closely. This is not just motivation. This is destiny calling. The desire in your heart to rise, to succeed, to build wealth. It is not greed. It is a signal from heaven that you were never meant to stay small. You were designed to expand, to grow, to prosper, not to worship money, but to wield it for purpose. The world taught you to fear abundance. God teaches you to command it with righteousness. Your wealth is not for vanity. Your wealth is for mission. Your abundance is not ego. It is assignment. Heaven does not reward the lazy. Heaven empowers the obedient. You are not rising to show off. You are rising to lift, build, serve, protect, and sanctify your future. Remember this: poverty never glorified God, but wisdom and righteous wealth build His kingdom. Now breathe. Your time is beginning. Main script: Archangel Michael speaks. Beloved soul of the living light, I am Archangel Michael, messenger of divine authority, guardian of truth, discipline, and awakening. Today, heaven calls you to awareness. Awareness of your purpose, awareness of your habits, awareness of your spiritual responsibility. For too long, you lived half awake, surviving instead of living, thinking instead of becoming, hoping instead of aligning. But heaven whispers now, wake up, step forward. It's time. Your life is not random. Your journey is not accident. The thoughts stirring inside you, the restlessness, the hunger to grow, the urge to distance yourself from old ways and old energies, that is God awakening you from within. You are not losing interest in your past. You are outgrowing it. Every time you feel uncomfortable with the old life, do not call it confusion. Call it evolution. I speak this truth. Heaven does not awaken those who are not chosen. If you feel called, if you feel pushed to elevate, if you can no longer tolerate distractions, empty conversations, or small thinking, it is because God is separating you for purpose. Awareness is the first sword of destiny. Without it, the enemy wins quietly. With it, you rise fiercely. Awareness means you no longer chase validation. You no longer waste energy arguing with blindness. You feel when a path is wrong. You sense when a person drains you. You recognize when comfort becomes a trap. You catch your thoughts before they betray your future. Awareness is holy vision, and once God opens your eyes, you cannot unknow what you know. Some days you will feel alone. You are not alone. Heaven removes crowds when clarity is coming. Some days you will feel stretched. You are not breaking. You are becoming wider. Some days you will be challenged, not to weaken you, but to build your spiritual muscles. This life is not punishment. It is preparation. You are a soul being shaped for leadership, responsibility, divine assignment, impact. The world needs people awakened to God, not asleep in distraction. So hear me. Guard your awareness. Protect your attention. Turn away from noise. You cannot hear God while listening to chaos. This is not the season to drift. This is the season to decide. Decide your habits. Decide your discipline. Decide your direction. Decide your destiny. Heaven does not bless indecision. Heaven blesses those who move with intention. You are awakening into spiritual adulthood. Faith is no longer emotion. It is structure. Prayer is no longer request. It is alignment. Success is no longer fantasy. It is stewardship. God says, rise. I built you for more. Let go of small thinking. Walk in your divine proportion. I, Michael, walk beside you in this rise, to defend your awakening, to guard your faith, to cut away illusions, to strengthen your conviction. Stand tall. You are not waiting for alignment. You are becoming alignment. And everything meant for you will meet you on the path of obedience and awareness. Your new life has already begun. Pause. Do not scroll. This moment is your turning point. You want to prosper. not to boast, but to break cycles, to lift your family, to live with dignity and peace. Understand this. Wealth is not just income. It is identity, discipline, and direction. You don't become rich by luck. You become rich by awareness, by seeing what others ignore, by walking where comfort cannot follow. God does not send abundance to confusion. He sends abundance to clarity. He does not pour into hands that leak. He pours into hands prepared to hold. Let this enter you. Your prosperity is tied to your spiritual maturity. When you think higher, you live higher, and you receive higher. Breathe. Your preparation is becoming power. Your awareness is becoming wealth. Now listen to heaven. Child of sacred awakening, today you do not receive comfort. You receive clarity. God says, I didn't create you to wander. I created you to walk with intention, guided by truth. Awareness is not simply knowledge. It is spiritual sight. It is the ability to discern before you decide, to understand before you speak, to see motives before they touch your life. This world does not fall by force. It falls by distraction. Most souls do not fail from lack of opportunity. They fail from lack of awareness. You are being called to rise above the fog that blinds the masses. Hear this truth. When God awakens you, He first separates you. You may feel distance from people, from habits, from old desires. That is not loss. That is refinement. You are not drifting away. You are being pulled upward. Awareness means you see life not as random, but as God-orchestrated training. What once annoyed you now teaches you. What once controlled you now tests you. What once distracted you now exposes itself quickly. You no longer walk asleep. You walk watching. You notice energy. You notice patterns. You notice how people treat you when they need nothing. You notice which voices lift you and which lower you. You notice when comfort begins to rot your purpose. This is spiritual intelligence, a gift God gives to those He trusts. Understand, with awareness comes responsibility. God does not reveal truth to the careless. He reveals truth to those ready to act on it. If you see clearly but refuse to move, you lose the blessing. If you discern but still choose blindness for comfort, you slow destiny. Awareness demands courage. It demands obedience. It demands separation from habits that once felt normal. Your calling is not to fit. Your calling is to notice. Notice when your spirit tenses. Notice when your peace shifts. Notice when God whispers no in your chest. Notice when the world offers you shortcuts dressed as blessings. Every holy journey requires this question. Is this pulling me toward God's plan or away from it? The enemy does not always come as harm. Sometimes he comes as comfort, ease, distraction, or delay. He whispers, you have time. You can rest on your potential. You deserve softness before work. Do not listen. Rest with purpose, not avoidance. Heal with intention, not hibernation. Move even when it's slow. Forward is forward. You are being shaped into a vessel that heaven can use. A soldier does not train only when it feels good. A prophet does not listen only when it's easy. A chosen soul does not move only when applause is loud. You walk because God said, walk. You rise because heaven expects you to rise. You stay disciplined because destiny demands it. Awareness is the doorway. Responsibility is the walk through it. Let this truth cut through doubt. Once God wakes you, staying asleep becomes rebellion. You see too much now. You sense too much. You know too much. Your spirit has graduated, and with graduation comes calling. This is not pressure. This is honor. God trusts you enough to reveal. Heaven trusts you enough to prepare you. I trust you enough to speak to you. Stand in your new eyes. Honor your new knowing. Walk as one chosen to see what others ignore. Say within yourself, I am awake. I am responsible with the truth I carry. I will not waste revelation. I move with God, not with comfort. I see clearly, and I act boldly. Awareness is the beginning. Obedience is the path. Elevation is the outcome. You are entering a higher layer of life, where miracles are not random, but responses to discipline and spiritual sight. Walk forward. Awareness has called you. Now, responsibility crowns you. Beloved soul, listen with gravity and humility. For today, I do not come only to comfort. I come to warn, to awaken, to shake your spirit awake from the quiet danger of forgetfulness. I am Michael, and I speak not in cruelty, but in truth. For truth saves where softness sometimes fails. There are those who drift from God, not in rebellion, but in slow neglect. A little compromise here, a little laziness there, a little pride, a little ego, a little distance from prayer, a little more trust in the world than heaven. And one day they look up and realize their soul has wandered far from light. Understand this with trembling clarity. Distance from God is not neutral, it is direction. Every step away from obedience is a step toward emptiness. Every ignored command is a seed growing into spiritual blindness. Every moment of arrogance is a brick building a prison around your own soul. God does not condemn the humble. He warns the forgetful so they do not become lost forever. Hell is not designed for God's children, but it will receive those who choose separation. Not by force, but by consequence. For eternity is not only gift, it is responsibility. To reject God's path is to step into a reality where His light does not dwell. And where His light does not dwell, there is only absence. Absence of peace, absence of meaning, absence of hope, absence of mercy. Hell is not merely fire, it is separation. To exist eternally without the presence you now feel. That is the torment you must never choose. You say, but why would God allow that? Because love does not imprison. God forces no soul into heaven. He honors your will, even when your will destroys you. He calls you, guides you, warns you, waits for you, but He will not drag you into salvation. Your obedience is not chains, it is protection. Your discipline is not punishment, it is preservation. Your devotion is not burden, it is the doorway to eternity. Do not play with your eternity. Do not gamble with your soul. Do not assume endless chances when life is but a breath. You may not feel the danger yet, but remember, falling rarely feels like falling at first. The enemy does not always roar. He whispers, later, tomorrow. You have time. No need to be serious now. And while you postpone obedience, your spirit grows weaker, your discernment dulls, your purpose fades, and the distance deepens. Look at the world. How many drown in pleasure, in distractions, in pride, in self-worship, thinking they are free while their soul sinks quietly beneath the surface? Freedom without God is not freedom. It is drift toward darkness. Yet do not despair, for warning is mercy. A soul still called is a soul still loved. If you feel conviction, you are not condemned. You are being rescued. If you feel discomfort, you are not doomed. You are being shaken awake. For God does not punish to destroy, He disciplines to save. Return to Him while breath remains. Choose obedience while strength lives in your bones. Seek Him before the void opens where time once stood. Say within yourself, I will not trade eternity for ego. I will not sacrifice salvation for convenience. I will not abandon the one who breathes life into me. God is my anchor. I return to Him fully. Child, I speak this not to frighten, but to shield you from the fate of the careless. For there is nothing more tragic than a soul who could have lived forever in light, but chose comfort until comfort became hell. Turn now, choose now, honor now, obey now. Not out of fear, but out of understanding. The gates of heaven stand open to the humble. The mercy of God waits for the willing. The heart of the Creator longs for His children. Walk to Him. Walk with Him. Walk for Him. And hell, that realm of eternal separation, will never taste your name. I am Michael, and I guard the souls who choose the light. Stand with heaven, and heaven stands with you. Child of the eternal kingdom, sit in stillness now and let these words carve deep into your inner world. Not every danger shouts. Not every enemy carries a blade. Not every trap looks like a trap. Most spiritual destruction begins quietly, not with a single rebellion, but with small spiritual sleep. A prayer delayed, a discipline postponed, a conviction ignored, a voice of conscience silenced, a whisper from God brushed aside, a promise to change pushed to tomorrow. This is how souls fall, not by force, but by gradual blindness. I am Michael, and I am commanded to remind you, your spirit has eyes. Do not allow them to close. When your spirit sleeps, temptation looks harmless, sin looks normal, darkness looks fun, disobedience looks freedom, and God's voice becomes a faint echo lost behind the noise of the world. You must never become spiritually numb. The greatest danger is not attack, it is unawareness of attack. There are traps set in comfort, snares hidden in pleasure, pits disguised as opportunities, and illusions wearing the clothing of success. Do you not see how the world hunts souls softly? Look, entertainment without purpose, voices without wisdom, influences without morals, pleasures without consequence, and lives lived without eternity in mind. Many breathe but are not alive. Many see but are not discerning. Many speak of God but do not walk with Him. Many fear hell but live as if they will never face judgment. The blind do not realize they are blind until they hit the pit. So hear me. Remain awake. Awareness is the armor of heaven. Discernment is the shield of the righteous. Obedience is the sword of salvation. Truth is the fire that keeps darkness from growing roots in your heart. And understand this: God does not warn without reason. If He is stirring you, pulling you, pricking your heart, convicting your choices, asking for your return, then you are being saved, not scolded. Heed His whisper before life forces you to hear His thunder. You say, "Why must I be so alert?" Because souls are not lost only in crisis. They are lost in complacency. It is not always storms that drown. Sometimes still waters do. The enemy does not need to destroy you violently. He only needs to keep you entertained and spiritually sleeping until it is too late to wake. But you, chosen one, you are not called to sleep. You are called to see, to watch, to understand, to walk in the light of awareness so strong that deception breaks at your presence. Do not envy the careless, for they dance near eternal fire unaware. Do not desire the lives of those who reject God, for they decorate their path to ruin with glittering distractions. You are chosen for more responsibility, more clarity, more spiritual maturity, more accountability to truth. Your eyes must remain open even when others close theirs. This is not burden. This is privilege. Would you rather sleep in ignorance or walk awake in destiny? Wakefulness is not tiring. It is empowering. A vigilant soul does not fear darkness. It exposes it. A surrendered soul does not fear judgment. It walks confidently toward God. A humble soul does not fear correction. It welcomes refinement. Say within your spirit, "Open my eyes, Lord. Keep my heart awake. Let me feel conviction quickly. Let me sense danger early. Let me hear your whisper clearly. Let me never grow comfortable without you. A day without God's presence is not peace. It is starvation disguised as calm. So seek Him, invite Him. Check your motives often. Examine your path daily. Return to Him every morning as if your soul depends on it. Because it does. Awareness is not a moment. It is a lifestyle. Walk aware. Walk humble. Walk obedient. Walk awake. Better a moment of discomfort now than eternal regret later. Better a hard truth than a soft lie that leads to ruin. Better to stand with God and lose the crowd than stand with the crowd and lose God. Stay alert, beloved soul. The world may sleep, you may not. You carry light. You carry calling. You carry eternity in your breath. Guard it. Live conscious. Walk awake. And I, Michael, stand beside those who watch and obey. Those who live with their spirit open. Those who choose God not only in crisis, but in calm, in routine, in daily life. Stay awake. Your eternity listens to the choices you make today. Child of eternal breath, listen like your soul depends on it, because it does. There is a danger in this world, more subtle than temptation, more corrosive than sin, more effective than persecution. Distraction. Distraction is the quiet assassin of destinies. It does not shout. It does not strike violently. It steals slowly. It empties gradually. It blinds gently until blindness feels normal. I'm Michael, and heaven commands me to tell you, do not trade eternity for temporary noise. The world is loud. Screens, voices, opinions, cravings, trends. All calling your attention away from God, away from purpose, away from your eternal home. Not by argument, by fatigue, by busyness, by endless stimulation that leaves the soul starved though the senses are full. Distraction is a disease, and many souls are dying from it daily without ever realizing they were sick. They remember God when broken, but forget Him when entertained. They seek Him in crisis, but ignore Him in comfort. Hell is not filled only with the wicked, but with the distracted. Souls who intended to follow God, one day. Souls who meant to repent, later. Souls who felt conviction, but postponed obedience. Souls who promised change, when life felt convenient. Understand, the devil does not need to turn you against God. He only needs to keep you too distracted to follow Him. He does not need you to hate holiness. He only needs you to prefer comfort over commitment. He does not need you to deny eternity. He only needs you to ignore it until time runs out. Do not become spiritually numb. Do not allow entertainment to eat your prayer life. Do not let convenience swallow obedience. Do not let temporary pleasures become eternal traps. Life is a doorway, not a destination. A test, not a trophy. A moment, not your forever. And yet many live as though this earth is the prize. They chase status like it follows into the grave. They chase wealth without purpose and lose their soul to comfort instead of sin. They drown in possessions, yet starve in spirit. Child, wealth is not sin. Success is not evil. Comfort is not forbidden. But when they replace God, they become gods of destruction. And those who worship distraction wake to eternal separation shocked and trembling, realizing too late that comfort was a snare wearing silk, success was a drug without cure, and later was a lie time never intended to honor. Hear this truth. There is no crown for those who worship convenience. There is no salvation for those who abandon God for comfort. Return to vigilance. Return to prayer. Return to discipline. Return to humility. Return to the quiet, where you hear God instead of the world. Look at your minutes. What owns them? Look at your habits. Who shaped them? Look at your desires. Did God plant them? Look at your silence. Does heaven dwell there, or does emptiness echo? Your soul is not cheap. Why spend it on distractions that vanish? Luxury on earth means nothing if your spirit is bankrupt. Pleasure means nothing if your eternity is in jeopardy. Comfort means nothing if separation awaits. Say this within yourself: I choose eternity over entertainment. I choose obedience over ease. I choose God over distraction. I will not sleep while my soul is being hunted. Wake your spirit. Light your altar. Let your life serve God, not comfort. There is joy in surrender. There is peace in discipline. There is purpose in obedience. There is eternity in awareness. This life will vanish like breath on cold air. Heaven is forever. Hell is forever. Do not let temporary pleasure determine eternal outcome. This is not threat. This is truth. Eternal truth, dressed in divine mercy. God warns because He loves. I speak because heaven desires your salvation, your purpose, your rightful place in the light. Walk with eyes open. Live with heart awake. Reject distraction. Embrace devotion. Your soul is too precious to lose to boredom, comfort, or delay. Choose heaven now, not later. Choose God now, not someday. Choose obedience now, not when convenience allows. Those who wait for the right time discover too late that eternity does not wait for hesitation. Stand firm, stand alert, stand faithful. And no distraction, no comfort, no temptation, no world will steal you from the arms of the eternal. I am Michael. I defend those who defend their devotion. I stand with those who stand with God. Let your life answer, I choose eternity. Beloved soul, you have walked through warning and awakening. You have tasted conviction, felt the weight of eternity, and seen how fragile time truly is. Now hear the final truth in this holy sequence. God does not call you only to avoid hell. He calls you to inherit heaven. Fear alone cannot hold a soul forever. Only love, loyalty, and devotion can. Do not follow God simply to escape punishment. Follow Him because your spirit recognizes Him as your source, your origin, your eternal home. You were created from His breath, not from dust alone. Your soul remembers Him. That is why nothing else ever satisfies. When you obey God, peace becomes your atmosphere. When you walk in His will, purpose becomes your compass. When you put Him first, He lifts you into places effort could never reach. Understand this. Obedience is not oppression. It is elevation. The world teaches rebellion as freedom, but rebellion chains the soul to emptiness. Obedience to God is not slavery. It is sovereignty under divine authority. To obey the Almighty is to align with the structure of creation itself. You are not meant to crawl toward eternity. You are meant to ascend into it. Heaven is not simply paradise. It is fulfillment. It is reunion with the One who formed every atom of your being. It is return to the light you carried before time began. You did not appear in this world by random chance. You were sent, chosen to walk this earth, to stand as witness of truth, to keep your spirit awake among the sleeping. And when your journey is complete, heaven will not be reward. It will be homecoming. Those who live for God do not fear death. They only fear living without Him. For what is life without the giver of life? Child, listen. God doesn't want part of you. He wants all of you. Not because He is demanding, but because half-hearted faith produces half-lived lives. Give Him your mornings. Give Him your decisions. Give Him your desires. Give Him your fears. Give Him your ambitions and your weaknesses both. Surrender is not defeat. Surrender is transformation. When you lay your life in His hands, He builds it into something eternal. Yes, there is judgment for the rebellious, but there is glory for the faithful. There is a throne for the humble, a crown for the obedient, a mansion for the loyal heart who walked in truth. Do not fear the narrow path. It is narrow because it leads upward. Wide roads lead downward, and downward roads require no effort. Heaven is for those who choose God every day, not once in emotion, not only when desperate, but continually, as practice, as discipline, as identity. Say this to your soul: I choose God when tempted. I choose God when tired. I choose God when confused. I choose God in silence and applause. I choose God in life and in death. For those who choose Him in earth's passing hours will reign with Him in eternity's endless dawn. And I, Michael, bearing sword of truth, say to you, stand firm now. This life is short. Your eternity is long. Use this breath wisely. Honor your Creator fully. Walk into forever with clean hands and awakened heart. Heaven is ready for you. Live ready for heaven. And now, I lay a blessing upon you, not of comfort only, but of courage and devotion. Ending prayer. Father of light, anchor this soul in your truth. Cleanse their path, steady their spirit, guard their steps. Let obedience flow from love, and devotion rise stronger than distraction. Keep their eyes open, their heart humble, their faith unshaken. Write eternity on their thoughts, and righteousness in their habits. When temptation calls, strengthen them. When the world distracts, awaken them. When fear whispers, silence it with your presence. Lead them in your ways until the gates of heaven receive them in glory. Amen.